All right, guys, this is Paul Singh, the Market Speculator, with the trade report for Friday, October 26, 2018. Let's look at the market here. Now, I got a lot of questions yesterday about the move, almost 2% in SPY, which is significant. But if in the overall trend, even compared to the day before, it was really nothing here and nothing that changed my outlook on the market until we get something telling us otherwise. I'm still playing for the move to April or February lows. And a green day like yesterday does not change that. The only thing that would really change that is a lot of power behind this and taking out upside resistance with strong market breadth. That hasn't happened yet. So this would have to continue. And then we break up here, then we break up here. As we break upside resistances, then I start to change my attitude towards the market. We didn't get that. And then this morning now, we are set to open down, wipe out all of yesterday's gains. SPY here, you can see, is going to be down about 0.7 or 0.8%. Q is even worse, almost 2%, with Amazon and Google reporting and having another set of bad earnings reactions. And that's been a theme throughout this earnings season here. So nothing is changing my outlook at this point. You can't get caught up in any of these kind of bear markets or corrective markets, technically, by what economists would say. We're not in a bear market yet, but for our trading purposes, we could call it that. Whenever you have these, you're going to have strong bounces that you need to play through. And that's what we're doing right now. Now, I know a lot of you took off the shorts that we had on, and if you had a good profit, if you got 2-to-1, that's fine, but we're keeping them on, and we'll go over those in a second. Let's look at the Qs here. Even worse, had the bounce here heading up to the 9, but this morning set to test these lows. And I think that's going to be a key for today heading in the weekend. Do we break intraday? Do we break the lows here? So for SPY, it would be 264.70 for the intraday low, and the closing low was 265.32. The Qs, you can see here, the intraday and closing is about the same, right around 165. So we get in the 164s that would break, and then IWM as well. So don't get caught up on these one-day bounces until you start to see upside resistance break. It's one thing if you took your shorts off, but if you started to get aggressively long, that's probably the wrong thing to do. You could maybe take a shot or two at some stocks, but don't get aggressively long until you get signals to do so. Our outlook remains pretty much the same. Brazil is still holding up well. That's the one area that's still looking strong and kind of ignoring the market, even though we had this one day right here. So keep an eye on Brazil. We still have our relative strength list, stocks like Alta, which seem to be holding up pretty good. Earnings breakouts and breakdowns. Twitter broke out yesterday and is holding its 50-day moving average. Watch that level. Boeing, which had good earnings, we want to see if this thing breaks down. If it breaks down on good earnings, that could be a good short setup. Tesla yesterday, very strong. This morning, pulling back. Watch the 50-day 200-day moving average here on Tesla. And then Netflix, which is already broken down. Watch for the break of 300. And this was a stock that had strong earnings, but the market's just taking it. The market is just taking it down. So watch the break of 300 there. And Amazon breaking down this morning, testing its 200-day moving average. Watch for a break of that. And then Google also pulling back here down to 1,050. So watch here. Mostly going to be watching today. Maybe I add a short in one of these stocks we just talked about. I think the video might be a decent one as well. It looked very strong yesterday as a bounce play, but then now probably will continue downwards if the market does. But we're positioned with 3 shorts. I'm happy to keep those on. I forgot to pull this one up. We also have BABA here, which is set to open around 139. If it gets down to 135, I might take profits there in BABA. So that's it. Probably just going to sit back and watch heading into the weekend. If we got a strong intraday reversal, maybe we take a look and see if there's anything we could go long. But other than that, probably sitting on our hands, maybe putting on one short, and then heading into the weekend.